Welcome to Beginning Piano Class. This slide presentation today is to teach you the basics of the piano keyboard and to introduce you to important aspects of playing the instrument. First, we will go through posture, finger numbers, creating a sound, how the piano makes a sound, hand position, the grand staff, and notes and notation for music and the piano. Finally, we will do a couple of exercises to help you get started. To begin, it's important to have good posture while you're at the keyboard. You should sit tall, be leaning slightly forward with your arms relaxed, but with your wrists and forearms at the level of the keys. Technically, your arms should be parallel to the floor if the bench is at the right height and the piano is at the right height, and your feet go flat on the floor. Finger numbers for piano are 1 for thumb, 2 for index, 3 for middle, 4 for ring, and 5 for pinky. This is true on both the left and the right hand. How does the piano make a sound? The piano is a percussion instrument because there's a hammer that hits a string, and here's how it works. Here's your key, which when you push it down, activates these devices here to push on one another until finally a hammer strikes the string. The true definition of a percussion instrument is something that is hit or struck in some way, and since a piano hammer hits a string, it is technically a percussion instrument. Finger position on the piano itself. This picture here shows how to not play the piano properly. You don't want your hand below the keyboard. Instead, you want your hands curved over, kind of like you're pretending to be a baby spider walking across the ground, or as if you were holding a tennis ball in your hand. So hand is flat and fingers are curved up. Lastly, the piano reads in notation on a staff. And unlike other instruments, the piano reads what we call the grand staff. And that is, some of the notes are read using the treble clef, and some of the notes are read using the bass clef. Unfortunately, these notes, even though they could look to be in the same place, will have different names because these two clefs are different. As you can see from this picture, this is all the notation for music that you will find on a piano, going from A to G and starting over again. So it's A through G repetitively as you go up or down the piano. During this introductory section, we are not going to be discussing the black key notes of the piano, though those are notes that are often played, but they are altered tones. And for the purposes of this introduction, we won't be talking about those today. The piano keyboard is made up of 88 black and white keys. As you move to the right on a piano, or what's considered up the piano, the pitches get higher. So this is up, and it sounds higher. As you move to the left on a piano, it's considered down, and the pitches get lower. The reason for this is because the strings get thicker and generally longer, as opposed to shorter, thinner strings that make it higher when you move to the right. As stated previously, music is read in and written in notes, much like the alphabet, only using letters from A to G. So the first note in the musical alphabet is A. That happens to live right there on the piano. Being fairly easy, the next note is B, C, D, E, F, and G. Now, it does not go to H, but simply starts over again on the note A. And you'll notice that this A and this A both live in the same position in relationship to the set of 3 black keys. We are not going to discuss the black keys today but those are definitely notes that you often play on a piano and will see in music. Now, when the notes go to the right or up or higher in pitch, they move forward alphabetically. When notes go to the left, down, or lower in pitch, they move backwards in the alphabet. So you'll notice that instead of going forward alphabetically, we are now going in the reverse order. So you have A, G, F, E, D, C, and it would continue on in this direction. The best way to get familiar with the piano keyboard is to look at the pattern of the keys. As you will see here, you can use the groupings of the black notes to determine where you are on the keyboard. The keyboard is arranged with 2 black keys, followed by 3 black keys, 2 black keys, 3 black keys, etc. 2, 3. And the same will be true up and down the keyboard. Each of these groupings of 2 and 3 black keys will be separated by 2 white keys that have no black key in the middle. Now, if you know the notes in relationship to this pattern, you can figure out any note on the keyboard because, as we know, the notes go alphabetically, either in forward motion or reverse. So you may just know that this note is a C or this note is an F. So in your mind, you can think the white key to the left of the 2 black keys is C. The white key to the left of the 3 black keys is F. And from here, you can guess every note. C is followed by D in the alphabet. D followed by F. F followed by G, and G followed by A, etc. Now, if I move from this group of 2 black keys, where the C is to the left, and I jump all the way up here to the 2 black keys, this is still C. It's a different octave, but it's still a C. This is still a C. So if I want to go backwards, I just have to think of what the alphabet is backwards. This is going down the piano or to a lower note. So you would get B, then A, starting with G, etc. So that is an excellent way to use landmarks to help you remember what notes are where on the piano. The landmark of keys has an F on the left. 2 black keys has a C on the left, and everything else can be discovered by knowing one or both of those facts. What I would like you to do now for practice to get used to the keyboard is underneath the keyboard picture here. Using different fingers, play each group of black keys as you go up the piano. Do not do this with just one finger, which is probably comfortable, but alternate your fingers and do it on both the left and right hands. So you will start on a set of keys and put down finger 1, 2, 3. Go up here, maybe you do it again. 1, 2, 3. Maybe you switch it to 2, 3, 4 or 3, 4, 5. But just go up and down the piano using different fingers to play that grouping. Do it on the left hand, do it on the right hand. When you feel comfortable with that, try the next exercise, which is starting from any note on the piano, play each white key with only one finger. Begin on the pinky or finger 5 on the left hand, and begin on the thumb or finger 1 on the right hand. So I'm going to start from C. So I'm going to put my thumb on my right hand down on C, finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, finger 4, finger 5. Now simply do the opposite. Put your pinky of your right hand, of your left hand, on the C, and then go D with your ring finger, E with your middle, F with your first finger or your pointer finger, and G with your thumb. Doing that with finger numbers 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go back down again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And practice this exercise up and down the keyboard, maintaining independent finger action while you play one note at a time. If you can do it one hand at a time for both of these exercises, you can add two hands at the same time and see how that works out for you. Once you get comfortable playing these notes with independent finger action, you will be ready to play some real songs.